Awesome, guys. So let's go for the story time here. So go ahead, bro.
So this week I'd like to share, we had a visitor that came to Houston, and I know this guy for many years. His name is Richard Avila. He was my partner when I started training Jiu-Jitsu a long time ago. And when I started Jiu-Jitsu, he was already a blue belt, and he was always one of the best competitors that I ever had the opportunity to be around. You know, everybody knew him in Brazil. For many years, he pretty much like controlled the lightweight division in most of the tournaments. And still until today, 25 years have passed. He have a very successful gym in Brazil. That's the gym that I train when I go to Brazil. And he have promoted nearly 50 black belts in this facility. He have 7 affiliations around the city where I came from, Brazil. And then he came to Houston because he's coaching one of his students that's gonna fight the ADCC this weekend in Las Vegas. And I had the opportunity to be around him here in Houston, and I brought him to the gym. We did the events. Training with him is just amazing. He still have full control over me like he always did. And I always learn a lot from this guy. Not just he's a great friend, but he always had so many stories. This guy was like a natural born fighter. He was really good in jiu-jitsu. But when he was young, 20 years ago, he used to use jiu-jitsu to control other people. Anywhere he goes, he would like to show that he was good at jiu-jitsu. So I remember like many stories of people that bumps on him, people that start fights with him. That's what he always said. So one day, he arrives at the gym on Monday, and we are kind of waiting for him already. I arrived there before, and the gossip around the gym is Richard is in the front page of the city newspaper. Okay, there is this city newspaper that comes like every Monday that talks about the weekend. And the front page of the newspaper was like, Richard from this jiu-jitsu school got in a fight in the nightclub. That was actually the nightclub that I used to work, so I knew about everything, but I didn't know that's gonna come out in the newspaper. And he got in a fight, and he got arrested, and he ended up spend the night in jail. And then when he arrived on the gym on Monday, my professor was just waiting for him, and he arrived and said like, hey man, you done, you don't train here anymore. You can go home, and you're not part of our academy anymore because you are really damaging the image of our gym. You are in the front page of the newspaper, fighting the street like you always do, but this time is a little bit more aggravated because you really put our name out there. And that was like a big argument. It was not like the way I'm telling you guys. It was a big argument, like pretty much like get out of here, never show up here anymore. And that was like lunchtime class. So the day runs like just normal. Everybody saw the newspaper in the morning. And then this other part that I'm gonna describe now, I was not there, but what Richard told me is like that same night, the teacher went to his house and ring the bell and say, Richard, come on, get in the car, I need to talk with you. And he like, man, you just kicked me out of the gym. You said that I'm not part of your team, and I'm not supposed to train in your gym anymore. And the guy, just shut up and come in the car, let's go. I wanna talk to you. And then in the car ride, he tells Richard, hey, I want you to come back. I wanted to come back to the gym. And Richard was confused, like, man, you kicked me out in the morning, and now in the night you come to my house and you tell me that you want me to go back train at your gym again. Why? And then my professor said, well, because you've been the front page of the newspaper, we never had such an amount of new students coming to the gym. So a lot of people saw the newspaper, and through that, they got motivated to go like, oh my God, if you know jiu-jitsu, you can get in a fight, nothing happens, you're gonna win the fight. He got arrested, but like this thing like really give you a lot of power. So a lot of new students show up in that day, and my teacher was super excited because it was like a kind of a free marketing for the whole city that, we sell something that make you survive in a fight. And a lot of new students was showing up at the gym that day. And then the professor just like, okay, let's bring Richard back because he's doing free marketing for us. And that was so fun, you know, like I was the first time I see like somebody getting kicked out from the gym in the morning and get like re-signed in the night because the results of your fight in a bar just brought a lot of new clients for the gym. And of course, today these things doesn't happen anymore. But back ago, you know, 20 something years ago, that was the way to go, you know, that was the way to market jiu-jitsu, was like, hey, I show you what I can do. You know, that's what Horin was doing with Hiro and Henner, bringing people to the garage and say like, hey, are you very good at fighting? And yeah, I am. I do 30 years of this martial art. Okay, go with my 15 years old here and let's see what it goes. And then Hiro and Henner was just controlling these giant like masters in many other martial arts and proving the point that jiu-jitsu was more efficient and like way ahead than any other martial art. And I totally forgot this story until Richard was here and we were like having lunch and he told me about that and it was so funny, you know. And there is many other stories of Richard. Tomorrow he's gonna be here at the gym again teaching the class with us, and then Friday he's leaving. But it was such a gift to have him around here, you know, a good friend, like 20 something years have passed. And when I saw him, it was just like 20 years ago, you know, like the same conversation, same vibe. We like just discussing a lot of things that happening. And he was really happy with the way we are teaching jiu-jitsu these days because of the structure that we have. You know, he never had the opportunity in Brazil to structure his gym the way that I did with mine, with Gracie University and all the curriculums and all the structure that we follow. When he walked to the gym here, like, wow, I love what you guys doing here. You know, it's so much more friendly. And of course, there is none of your students going fight in a bar to prove anything, you know. And it was really nice for me, you know, because I have him as a jiu-jitsu mentor that will always teach me a lot of jiu-jitsu when I go to Brazil. It's like just daily seminars of information regards to jiu-jitsu, you know, and giving him back something, you know, I could add something to his profile, you know, to his portfolio of jiu-jitsu teacher, you know, but not with techniques of jiu-jitsu or beating him up or controlling him or anything like that. It's just the way that we run classes, you know. He was seeing the way that I'm teaching, following like a very the methodologies that we follow here, not just the way I teach, but the way that my instructors teach, that's just exactly the same way. He was overwhelmed and couldn't stop to ask me questions and compliment me because of the achievements that we did in the gym through the organized system that we have. So yeah, that was one of the richer stories.
Man, there's
you
many,
know,
bro.
there's so many. I shared some with you already, you know, and I'm excited to see him tomorrow again. He actually gonna sleep in my house tomorrow, so we're gonna have a long road. And actually tomorrow we're gonna meet with Romulo. That's also the guy who invited Richard to come back to the gym. That Richard have not seen him like for more than 10 years. Yeah. We're all gonna meet tomorrow for dinner, and that's gonna be like a very special day. That I'm gonna sit with these old friends of mine that we, for some reason, we disconnect in life, and now tomorrow we're gonna sit in the same table and talk life and jiu-jitsu again, you know, and the connections you make in jiu-jitsu, you know, you can even break them at some point, you know, but it just turns you in such a humble person that you're always willing to go back and forgive, you know. I think that's one of the strongest things you can have as a person, as an individual, is the ability to forgive. And I'm very proud of myself that I'm going after these people, you know, regardless of any politics that happened in the past. And I just want to forget the past and build a new future where we can train jiu-jitsu together and discuss business and, you know, and be open to growth as a person, as a jiu-jitsu, as a business owner, you know. And took me a little while to crack the code and get them on board for us to forget the past and go ahead, but it's done, you know. And tomorrow is going to be the day that we're going to finally sit together, all of us. I've been with both of them already. I'm kind of the mediator right now, you know. I've been with both of them already, but tomorrow we're joining forces and we're going to discuss about everything. And I'm very proud of what I'm doing in order to reconnect relationships, you know. And the word that I can use is forgive. You know, you forgive. I felt healed yesterday when I went to meet Romulo after years, you know, and sit and talk with him and discussing things. I felt very healed myself. You know, I remember I left the gym, I was just like, wow, this is so good. You know, Jiu-Jitsu gives you a lot of power in order to be able to forgive. And yeah, here we are.
Awesome. Perfect, bro. So just continue on to the Q&A, because if not, we're gonna continue on with the stories, man.
Q&A, love Q&A.
And that story probably for the launch that they're gonna have is gonna stay private, so it's not gonna be shared here. Awesome, guys. Let's go to the Q&A.